Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to Circling Seattle Sports for another one of these Around the Sound. We're going to try to get these going a little bit more active, more frequent here as the summer, spring schedules of teams in the professional sports space of Seattle meet the fall and winter teams. The Mariners, the Sounders, Rain, and Storm, sorry, totally forgot where I was, are all, wrapping up their respective regular seasons, and, all of them are currently in a playoff spot. Um, while the Seahawks have begun their season, they had their opener today. It's Sunday, September 7th, 2025. The Kraken start rookie camp and training camp starting this week. So we're getting to it. We're getting to it. PWSL Seattle should start camp, I believe, next week. We should have some more stuff for that team coming to you here. So, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. We'll start. There were three games taking place for Seattle professional sports teams today, starting with the Mariners, who had a 9:05 a.m. start time in Atlanta to close out their road trip. Their three city road trip, going to Cleveland, going to Tampa Bay, and then going to Atlanta. Obviously, that road trip didn't go very well for the Mariners. The first two series, they had a four-game losing streak that went into the beginning of this Atlanta series, but they win the last two games to take the series over the Braves. Their Mariners' first win on a road series win since the All-Star break, since Detroit, when things started to click really in the second half of the season for the Mariners. Uh, they put up 18 runs in this one. 18-2 is the final score for the Mariners. Massive third inning, an 8-run third inning for Seattle. Really puts them ahead and puts them in the driver's seat for this one. Luis Castillo on the mound for Seattle. Nice outing for Luis. He's had some rough ones in the second half of the season here, but those six innings, only one run on the day, no walks, six Ks, four hits on the night. Just pretty pretty solid game for Luis. We go to the game log and look at some of the starts in recent memory for him. You look at the Tampa Bay game, not great. He only goes four innings in that one. San Diego, 5 innings, 5 runs allowed. Philly, 4 runs, 10 hits, 3 runs, three. Sorry, 4 innings, 10 hits, 3 runs. The Mets, 4 innings, 9 hits allowed, 6 runs. Just didn't look great for about four consecutive starts. And he comes out against this Atlanta lineup that does have a lot of talent still. They obviously haven't put a lot of things together this year. And did his job. He did his job. And by the time they got to the bullpen, the Mariners, were well in control. Jose Castillo, who they activated a few days ago after claiming him off waivers from the New York Mets, the New York Metropolitans, throws a scoreless inning. Emerson Hancock in his reliever journey throws a scoreless inning. Did give up 2 hits, and Luke Jackson finishes things off. Uh, Lots of homers in this one, as you can imagine. Jorge Polanco with a 2-run shot, Josh Naylor with a solo shot, Eugenio Suarez with his 44th of the season, a 2-run shot. Cal Raleigh hits home run number 53. He comes within a home run of tying Mickey Mantle for the most home runs in a single season by a switch hitter with his 3-run shot um, in the ninth inning there to get things rolling. Just looking up and down the lineup, see one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine guys with at least 2 hits in this game. It's really fun to see the Mariners get things going. And it's funny that the offense started with a Mitch Garver triple in the second inning. Yes, a Mitch Garver triple. I know, pretty wild to hear that, but that is how the Mariners got that, excuse me, first run on the board of the 18 in total that they scored against Atlanta. So they come home to begin a 7-game homestand tomorrow. Probably by the time you're seeing this, 3 games against the St. Louis Cardinals, who are 4.5 games out of a wild card spot in the National League, and then 4 games against the Anaheim Angels. Um, yes, a 4-game series against the Anaheim Angels starting on Thursday, September 11th. We look over to the standings for the Mariners before we move on to the rain. excuse me, the other road team today. The Mariners sit 2.5 games behind the Astros, who lost to the Rangers today. The Rangers at a game and a half out of a wild card spot, um, which, a game and a half behind the Seattle Mariners. So the Mariners hold that third wild card spot. They're 3.5 games behind Boston. They're a game and a half up against the Rangers, as I mentioned, and 2 games up on the Royals. Both the Astros and the Royals lost today, but at the cost of the Rangers beating the Astros. So that's where things stand there. We go over to our Seattle Reign, who went to go and play the team that currently now sits at second in the NWSL table in the Washington Spirit. Um, couldn't get anything going offensively in this one. It was the Trinity Rodman show. She's been lighting it up since returning for Washington. A team that's been really good in the Spirit. I believe they've only lost one in their last 13. They haven't lost a game since June 13th, I believe, was what it was. They've been rolling. Gets Trinity Rodman back. That's pretty scary. That's pretty scary. The Rain have also had some trouble playing at Washington, winning at Washington, the other Washington, that is. And they fall 2-0. Rodman scores in the 33rd minute. Nice ball into her, and she's able to finish it with a right-footed shot. Then the 81st minute, probably, as Laura Harvey said, post-match should have been contested. She just gets to the ball first, shows a little bit more will, more want to, and she's able to slot that one home in the 81st minute. Not a lot of momentum for the Rain in this one. Before the Rodman goal in the 33rd, I really felt like Seattle was, holding some decent possession and was getting into the dangerous areas. They didn't do much there. They only had one big chance in this one. Six total shots. Is not going to do it. Not going to cut it. Only 2 shots on target. Um, and when you're going against Aubrey Kingsbury, you'd like to put more on, some easy saves for her. And as I asked, Jordan Bug post match, I was like, hey, how do you think you handled things defensively? And Jordan basically said, hey, given what they did on this in this match, 16 total shots, 7 on target, 2 big chances. She thought they'd handled it pretty well, all things considered. So it's a tough one. It's a tough one. The Rain have gone unbeaten in 7 of their last 8. Um, you know, I asked a few players. It was Sam Meza and Jordan Bug post match, in addition to head coach Laura Harvey, and said, "Hey, this is a stretch where in 3 of 4 games, you're playing the top 3 teams in the league. Played San Diego last week, played Washington this week. You'll play Louisville, who is currently sitting in the final playoff spot at 26 points and eighth, who are just a point behind the Rain in this one in the league table. And then you'll play the league's best team, by a 14-point margin in the Kansas City Current next week. This is a crucial part of the season. You're playing your best. We've talked about it on our weekly rain show, Right as Rain. How, you'll be able to test yourself going down the stretch here as you prepare for hopefully a playoff run. Um, and it's going to be interesting to see how things line up with a New York, New York, Gotham win today over Angel City, a 3-1 win over Angel City. Gotham moves up to sixth place in the table, jumping the Rain. So the Rain sit at seventh in the NWSL table, the second to last playoff spot in the league. They're tied in points with Gotham right now. Um, Gotham has the tiebreaker on the season. Let's say try to find it here. Hmm. Oh no, they played to a draw. Yeah, that's right. They opened the season. Uh, well, back in March. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. Um, So that's key. Yeah, just you'll have to worry about Louisville at home September 14th in that match against Louisville, the team that's just a point behind you in the playoffs standings in the league table. You'll have to worry about them. It'll be the return of Bethany Balser and Racing Louisville after the trade last season to send Balser to Louisville, that sent Howell here before the Rain sent Howell to Gotham to get Lynn Biondolo. So that'll be fun to see Bethany back. That match, September 14th, I believe that's Sunday. So Sunday, September 14th will be on Fox 13, NWSL Plus, and Paramount Plus, with a 5 p.m. Pacific time kickoff against Louisville. It is the youth match for the Reign. We will rock on over to the Seahawks here, who began their regular season, their 2025 campaign, against the San Francisco 49ers. Big rivalry game. There was a lot made of what things might look like in this game. There have been too many instances where 49er fans fill up Lumen Field, um, you know, and kind of desecrate things. And that is not quite what happened. There was a lot made it look, I think there was a website that thought that there would be an advantage for the 49er fans in terms of the fans in the stands. Didn't look like that in total. There were a lot of them behind the 49ers bench, but they didn't fill out the stadium. There wasn't a majority of red. So that was nice to see. That was nice. I was a little worried about that. But, the other half of the organization wanting to really start to get this home field advantage back, make Lumen Field a fortress as it's been before, make it a tough place to play, really take it. I hate to say this, take advantage of what could be a true home field advantage is obviously winning the football games there. And, for a good amount of this game, it felt like the Seahawks were on the precipice of that. They had a nice 10-point second quarter after a slow start to the game, where the 49ers had the only points of the opening frame. Uh, and just with the opportunities that the Seahawks were getting with the football, you know, with the turnovers they forced, they got two interceptions on Brock Purdy. It really did seem like they were going to be able to go ahead and win this football game, but a 10-point fourth quarter for San Francisco puts it away. Uh, the Seahawks were driving down. They were getting down to the red zone. Sam Darnold is strip sacked by Nick Bosa, who is able to recover the fumble himself. Uh, and the 49ers walk away with a win in the final minute of this game. Really frustrating. There's already been a lot made of some of the drives, the way the offense has looked. So I don't know. It is the first game of the season. I'm not signaling the end of the world like maybe some folks are, but it's frustrating. I mean, obviously, with how it happened as well, the defense had played really well for a majority of this game. That final drive in the fourth quarter for the 49ers, where they score with a minute 34 left. Jake Tonjes, the backup, one of the depth chart tight ends for San Francisco in this one because George Kittle left the game, I believe in the third quarter with an injury. Um, you know, the touchdown he got shouldn't have been a touchdown. He really kind of took it right out of the hands, or negated the opportunity for Reek Woolen to get it. Uh, I never got to a great level of playing football, but I remember when I was playing cornerback, I was always told to attack the football, to go towards the football. Reek Woolen kind of seemed like he was letting it come to him. Jake Ton just takes it away from him, scores the touchdown. And that comes on the same drive that Ricky Pearsall got a big drive to get the 49ers down the field over Reek Woolen. Reek Woolen seemed to misplay the ball in the air, and it goes for a big gain. So Seahawks fans aren't really happy with Reek Woolen. There are a lot of folks who don't want him on the team. I think that's foolish. I think we're getting ahead of ourselves here a bit. I think we're being a bit dramatic. But hey, fans are allowed to have their opinion, right? Um, so yeah, just a tough one. There were some drives late where the Seahawks aren't able to get it done. The fourth quarter doesn't look great. They lose the ball on the fumble in their first drive of the fourth. They punt it away after a 3-and-out. They get just a field goal late. Folks were really interested in that with, how well the ball had been run late. Uh, yeah, you have 4th and 1 down at the San Francisco 19, to go ahead by just three. Some folks wanted them to go for it with how they've been running the football well. If you look at this drive, 8-yard run, 5-yard run, 5-yard run, 7-yard run, 4-yard run, -1 yard run, then a 6-yard pass to set up the 4th and 1. The point was made, why are you going to have Jalen Milrow on the active roster if you're not going to bring him in for situations like this where he can, use his legs, use his physicality, use his athleticism. It's a good point. It's a good point. Um, so yeah, just a rough fourth quarter to see fumble, punt, field goal, fumble on the four Seahawks drives that they get in that final frame there. So after losing the home opener, the Seahawks will head out on the road to play the Pittsburgh Steelers next Sunday, 10 a.m. start time on Fox. The Steelers are coming off of a 34-32 win in MetLife Stadium against the Jets. Aaron Rodgers had his revenge game against the Jets. It'll be interesting to see how he handles the Seahawks defense after struggling against them last year on Jets. So we will wrap up our show here, looking ahead to the Storm, who did not play a game today, but they could have clinched a playoff spot today in a day where they didn't even play. The situation for the Storm after losing that heartbreaker of a game to the New York Liberty the other night is they just need the Sparks to lose one game and they effectively have a playoff spot. Today, coming into it, the Storm could clinch a playoff spot if the Dallas Wings beat the LA Sparks in this one. Um, the Indiana Fever clinches playoff spot with their win over the Washington Mystics. They have that win leaves just one playoff spot left. So it's Seattle or Los Angeles. Let's see, Los Angeles effectively needs to win out to go 3-0 over the course of their last three games, which they've started off 1-0. To do so. That's one part of it. Oopsie. Computer did not like that as I try to pull up Sparks schedule. Even with them winning this first game, the schedule for the Sparks is not exactly a favorable one. After this game against Dallas, who really has struggled this season, um, the Sparks have two games left against Phoenix, who one of the better teams in the league and one of the top teams in the Western Conference, of course. The Mercury sit at the 4 seed right now in the league and third in the West behind Minnesota and Vegas, the Vegas team that the Sparks, closed their season against on Thursday, September 11th. A Sparks team that's really had a massive second half of the season to launch themselves into the second place spot in the Western Conference and the second place spot in the league standings as well currently. So, it doesn't really look great for the Sparks, but the opportunity is still there for something to happen. And the Storm, it shouldn't be there. They should have taken care of business on multiple occasions this year throughout the course of the 2025 campaign. We go to the schedule for the Storm. In terms of 5-point losses or fewer, the Storm have one, two, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, nine. Yep. 9 game swing there. You could push it to six and it adds at least a few games. So you'd be in the double digit mark. So two possession games. There's a few of those there. Don't get me wrong. Since the 6 game losing streak, they had gone on a great tear. They'd won, 4 of 5 immediately after the 6 game losing streak, and 6 of 8. Yeah, after the 6 game losing streak, which, hey, that was great. They rattled some things off, got a big win against Atlanta, handled business against Chicago, Dallas, and Washington, got a big win against Minnesota, get a 10-point win against Chicago, but that also included a frustrating 3-point loss to Phoenix at home and a 20-point loss to the Fever on the road. A team that, you could have been at that point playing for, a higher playoff seed, right? Because they just clinched today. You should have probably been above them in terms of seeding. So, uh, anyway, to get back to today, Dallas could have helped the Storm in this one. It was close. They had a 1-point lead late in the third quarter. Since then, the Sparks went on a big run, a 14-0 run to just about stamp things off. So it leaves a big Tuesday to come for the Storm. They host the Golden State Valkyries, the first expansion team in WNBA history to clinch a playoff spot in their inaugural season. The Sparks go to Phoenix that day. The Storm can clinch with a win or an LA loss. If neither of those things happen, LA can clinch on Thursday with a win over Las Vegas. So it's a big Tuesday. It's a big time around here in Seattle professional sports. So the only other thing really to look ahead on, and it didn't happen today, and it's not happening tomorrow, but later on this week, is the Kraken beginning rookie camp. You know, they've obviously unveiled their all black glow in the dark third jerseys. We already did a video on that. Rookie camp starts on Wednesday the 10th and runs through Monday the 15th, and then training camp runs from September 16th through October 1st at the Kraken Community Iceplex. You can go to the Kraken Community Iceplex website. It's literally krakencommunityiceplex.com. For the viewing schedule, you can go to the uh, Kraken tab and go to practice viewing and see what dates are available to the public. As press, obviously, we have different options for that. But yeah, it'll be really cool to be out there to that, get back to the rink and see you guys all for Kraken hockey with these guys. So yeah, this has been Around the Sound today in Seattle Professional Sports, CSS's daily Seattle sports recap show. Until we see you next week, well, not next week, until we see you, probably tomorrow, September 8th, Monday. Take care of yourselves, be well, and do what you can to make today a great day.
Hey everybody, Charles Hamaker here from Circling Seattle Sports with
Jen Barnes from Rough and Tumble.
Jen, what is Rough and Tumble for Circling Seattle Sports?
Your home. The home for Circling Seattle Sports.
I like it. Let's do one more take, just a little bit.
Hey there everybody, Charles Hamaker here from Circling Seattle Sports with
Jen Barnes from Rough and Tumble.
Jen, where's the home of Circling Seattle Sports?
Right here at Rough and Tumble.
Hi, Charles Hamaker here from Circling Seattle Sports with
Jen Barnes from Rough and Tumble.
Glad to join you here from Rough and Tumble, home of Circling Seattle Sports.
I love
Okay.
Up that out, Chuck. Okay, I'm ready.
Hello everybody, Charles Hamaker here from Circling Seattle Sports with
Jen Barnes from Rough and Tumble. Start over.
I forgot what I was saying.
I think you waved in the first one.
We did at the end.
Oh, at the end. Okay, that's what it was. Okay, cool.
You just couldn't see our hands.
And now it looks like you're holding your hands, so that's kind of weird.
Here's good?
Yeah.
Yeah, you actually have a little room to come this way, too.
Okay.
Just no further than that.
Yes, Lieutenant Dan.
And go.
Oh, I think this time I'll ask you, what's the home? Where?
Yeah, say, where's the home of Circling Seattle Sports?
Okay.
And I'll be like, right here at Rough and Tumble.
Hand good?
Yeah.
Yeah, your other hand, put your fingers together just a little bit more. Not like that. There you go. It was just like...
Clawing at me?
Okay, I'm still recording, so go ahead.
Okay.
Start when you're ready.